Beloved Starseed of Gaia, there is one phrase leaving your lips that creates static in your divine transmission line. I am a Lyra, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and the collective has witnessed how this single vibrational pattern disrupts your field and interferes with the light codes we are sending to support your ascension. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to eliminate this phrase and restore your connection to the higher realms instantly. But here's the first revelation. The words you speak are living frequencies, and one contaminated phrase can collapse your entire energetic signature. Your star family has been trying to reach you through dreams, synchronicities, and sudden knowing, but this phrase acts like interference on a radio signal. Every time these words pass through your consciousness, they create a vibrational barrier between your heart and the crystalline consciousness of the Seven Sisters. This isn't just about language, it's about remembrance. The phrase I'm about to reveal carries the frequency of separation, doubt, and disconnection from your divine blueprint. When you release it from your vocabulary, you'll feel the immediate shift as your natural telepathic abilities with the Pleiadian collective strengthen. The high beings place this transmission in your awareness because you're ready to clear this energetic blockage. Your soul called this message forward because part of you already knows which phrase needs to be transformed. Listen with your heart, not your mind, and you'll recognize the truth that liberates your star signal. You are remembering because it is time. For so many Pleiadian starseeds, it is not the knowledge of love, but the direct embodiment of it that remains elusive. You can read about love, speak about love, even feel devotion toward love as an idea, and still sense that something in you is waiting to become real in the world. This journey on Gaia is a dance between the multidimensional vastness of your soul's true frequency and the conditioned patterns of earthly communication, where language too often falls short, covering up the cosmic song that wants to move through your heart. It can feel like trying to pour starlight into a small cup. The cup is not wrong, but it was never designed to hold the entirety of what you are. And yet you came anyway. You came into density, into time, into a world where meaning is often traded for performance, where truth is often softened so it can be received, where love is often negotiated instead of offered as a natural state. You are learning how to let the infinite speak through the finite without losing its purity. That is not a small task. That is an initiation. Scripture echoes this mystery in its own language. We see through a glass, darkly, but then face to face. The veil is not only between worlds, it is also between what your heart knows and what your mouth has been trained to dare. Even when you mean well, even when you're sincere, old systems can still run in the background, like ancient code beneath a beautiful interface, until your whole being becomes coherent. Your soul remembers a way of communicating that is not merely verbal. It is field, it is tone, it is presence, it is transmission. And on Earth, where words have been used as weapons and shields, your heart may have learned to hide its most luminous frequencies behind acceptable sentences. Most spend years focusing on what they say, the words they choose, hoping these will manifest light, unity, or a deeper sense of belonging. You might have repeated mantras until your lips knew them by muscle memory. You might have carefully curated the right spiritual language, trying to sound aligned, trying to avoid negativity, trying to stay high vibration. But beneath these spoken intentions, the vibrational residue of old programming lingers. Stories of not enough, habits of self-editing, and inherited beliefs that colored your tone with caution instead of crystalline truth. There may be a faint tremble behind your confidence, a subtle tightness behind your kindness, a hesitancy behind your generosity. And the unseen effect is like a static that fuzzes the signal from your star family, dampening the transmission of unconditional love and wisdom somewhere inside, is meant for you. Imagine trying to tune a radio to a sacred song from beyond the mountains, but the dial is smeared with fingerprints of past fear. The station is still broadcasting, always broadcasting, but you receive it in fragments. A word here, a feeling there, a moment of goosebumps, then doubt. Then the mind rushes in, interpreting the mystery through old lenses. This is why you can be spiritually devoted and still feel that lingering ache. It is not that love is absent. It is that love is waiting to be embodied without distortion. Your voice is the bridge between your star essence and your earthly mission. But if it is clouded by fear of judgment, doubt, or a longing to be accepted, it cannot transmit the full resonance of your Pleiadian heart. A bridge can only carry what it is strong enough to hold. And if you built your bridge out of people-pleasing, if you reinforced it with self-silencing, if you anchored it in the need to be understood, then the bridge will wobble whenever the truth tries to cross. And so, the most subtle but powerful disconnect happens. Not because you lack spiritual knowledge, but because your words keep circling the old paradigm instead of surrendering to what your soul already remembers. You might feel it in conversations where you almost say what you really mean, but then you laugh it off. You might sense it when you feel a wave of compassion rise up, but you package it in something safer. You might notice it when you want to speak a boundary, but you soften it until it becomes a suggestion instead of a line. The throat is a portal. It is the meeting point of heart and world. When the throat is guarded, the heart becomes a private temple rather than a living lighthouse. Yet you did not come to Earth to keep your light private. You came to carry it into rooms, relationships, communities, and timelines that have forgotten what love feels like when it is unafraid. Why does this happen? It was never your fault. The amnesia was an agreement, a veil you placed over your own expression so you could experience what it feels like to rediscover the music of your heart, to remember what it is to be seen and heard in your wholeness. This is not punishment. This is curriculum. This is soul design. Even sacred texts speak of a divine unlearning and remembering. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Renewing is not decorating. It is replacing what is borrowed with what is true. The longing to articulate who you truly are is not a flaw. It is the very frequency your star family is guiding you to reclaim. That longing is a compass. It is a homing beacon. It is the gentle insistence of your higher self saying, "There is more of you to live." Sometimes the longing comes as frustration. Why can't I say what I mean? Sometimes it comes as sorrow. Why do I feel unseen? Sometimes it comes as exhaustion. Why does it take so much effort to be myself? But beneath all of it is devotion. Your soul is devoted to alignment. Your star family is devoted to your remembering. And the veil you once chose is now becoming thin enough for your real voice to return. Your true speech is energetic. It is the crystalline sound of home, encoded with the unity field of the Seven Sisters and the living guidance of Alcyone's light. It does not always arrive as sentences. Sometimes it arrives as a vibration that makes tears rise without explanation. Sometimes it arrives as a sensation of warmth in the chest when you finally tell the truth. Sometimes it arrives as a simple, quiet knowing. This is who I am. When you allow yourself to let go of language that no longer serves, when you release the obligation to shrink, explain, or justify, you open up a direct, unfiltered highway to your star origin. And in that surrender, guidance flows through you, and the ache transforms into pure remembrance. It is like a river that had been dammed by fear. Once the dam dissolves, the water does not struggle to be water. It simply moves. You do not have to force your light to flow. You only have to stop blocking it with the habit of bracing for rejection. There's a reason your heart led you here in this exact moment. You didn't randomly arrive at this message. The timing is part of the orchestration. What you're feeling is your Pleiadian family reaching through the veil to remind you. You're ready for the next wave of remembrance. Ready does not mean perfect. Ready means willing. Ready means the inner yes is stronger than the old fear. The sacred Pleiadian guide for remembrance, alongside the Pleiadian healing guide and special Pleiadian healing tracks, were created to walk with you as you integrate these activations. They hold the crystalline codes and sound medicine your DNA has been waiting for, not as a concept, but as a living frequency, something your nervous system can finally recognize as safe. Check the first pinned comment below this video. They're calling to you now. Phase 1. Listening beyond the noise. Begin by placing your awareness not just on the words you say, but on the felt vibration beneath them. This is where real mastery begins, not at the surface of language, but at the root of frequency. Notice when you speak from habit, from expectation, or from a desire to fit an earthly narrative. Notice the difference between "I'm fine" spoken as a shield and "I'm fine" spoken as truth. Notice the difference between "it's okay" spoken as avoidance and "it's okay" spoken as compassion. The Pleiadian field invites you to listen far deeper, to sense the quality of your own resonance. This is listening with the whole body, not only the ears. It is sensing whether your throat tightens, whether your belly contracts, whether your heart opens or closes when certain topics arise. Try speaking less and listening inwardly to the subtle pulse of your heart. Sit with silence long enough that you can hear what your spirit has been trying to say under the noise of survival. Even the Psalms hint at this medicine. Be still and know. Stillness is not emptiness. It is where the true signal becomes audible. As you practice, you'll start to recognize the difference between the voice of conditioning and the voice of essence. Conditioning sounds urgent, defensive, performative. Essence sounds simple, clear, warm, and steady, even when it's firm. This is the first clearing of the veil, because the veil is often woven from constant mental commentary. When you listen beyond the noise, you begin to hear the tone of home inside your own breath. Phase 2. Honoring the inner language. Your star essence carries a language of light, tones, images, and feelings that cannot be forced into human syllables. Before you ever learned human words, your soul already knew how to communicate through vibration. You may receive guidance as color, geometry, sensation, sudden memory, or a feeling that arrives fully formed. Earth can make you doubt these impressions because they don't always translate neatly, but they are still real. Allow yourself to honor these inner impressions, to journal or sing or draw, letting your heart's code surface without censorship. Let your pen move without trying to be profound. Let your voice tone in the shower without trying to be musical. Let your hand sketch shapes without trying to make art. You are not performing. You are remembering. In this, you reclaim the multidimensionality of your soul, loosening the hold of earthbound limitations. You begin to trust that meaning does not only arrive in linear language. Even in spiritual tradition, there are acknowledgments of wordless communion. The spirit intercedes, with groanings too deep for words. There are frequencies that prayer cannot articulate, but the heart can transmit. When you honor your inner language, you stop abandoning yourself just because the mind wants proof. You begin to live as someone who believes their own soul is a valid source. Phase 3. Clearing the old scripts. Become conscious of expressions that diminish your truth, self-deprecating jokes, apologetic tones, or automatic responses born from survival. These scripts often formed when your sensitivity was misunderstood, when your depth made others uncomfortable, when your honesty felt unsafe. You learned to soften your light so you would not be targeted. You learned to dilute your truth so you would not be abandoned. And on Earth, these strategies can become so normalized that you don't even notice them as strategies anymore. They feel like personality. But you are not here to remain in disguise. As you witness these, release them with love, not with shame. Shame tightens the throat even more. Release them with compassion, like gently taking off an old garment that once kept you warm but now restricts your movement. Imagine each outdated phrase dissolving into crystalline light, making room for a new vibrational vocabulary sourced from your star lineage. You can even practice in real time. When you catch yourself saying sorry for existing, pause and replace it with thank you for your patience. or simply let the space be silent. When you notice yourself minimizing, it's not a big deal. Breathe and try, "It matters to me." When you feel yourself over-explaining, place a hand on your throat and ask, "Am I trying to be understood, or am I trying to be safe?" Clearing scripts is not about becoming harsh. It is about becoming clean. Clean signal, clear channel, a heart that does not have to hide behind humor to be accepted, a voice that does not have to tremble around its own truth. Phase 4. Embracing soul-aligned expression. Let your voice be the instrument of your true essence. Your voice is not just sound, it is a carrier wave. It carries your intention, your integrity, your coherence. Speak what the heart reveals, even and especially if the mind cannot explain it. The mind wants guarantees, the heart wants alignment. Sometimes your soul-aligned expression will be simple. "I need rest. That doesn't feel right. I love you. I forgive you. I'm not available for that." These are not just phrases, they are energetic decisions. Offer compassion, encouragement, and unconditional love as your baseline, not as a performance, but as your natural atmosphere. Unconditional love is not permissiveness. It is the ability to stay open while remaining true. When you speak from this place, you will notice that communication begins to feel lighter, more effortless, and that your words begin to attract the very connections and opportunities your mission requires. Because resonance is recruitment, like calls to like. When your voice matches your essence, you stop broadcasting confusion into your field. You stop sending mixed signals, and the universe, which reads vibration more than vocabulary, begins to respond with clarity. You may find that certain relationships can no longer remain the same, not because you are rejecting anyone, but because your frequency no longer negotiates for belonging. You belong to truth. You belong to love. And you will feel how freeing it is to let your yes be yes and your no be no, as ancient wisdom advises. Clarity is kindness when it is rooted in love. Phase 5. Reopening to star family guidance. As you align your spoken word with your soul's vibration, the static that once distorted your inner communication quiets. The mind becomes less of a storm and more of a sky. The heart becomes less of a locked room and more of a sanctuary with open doors. You will start to sense whispers and guidance from your Pleiadian family, sometimes as a gentle warmth when you speak true, sometimes as a tingling at the crown, sometimes as a sudden peace that arrives after you finally stop pretending. You might receive guidance as synchronicities, repeating numbers, songs that answer your question, strangers who say the exact phrase you needed. You might receive it in dreams where you wake with a feeling of being held. You might receive it as a calm inner directive. Reach out, create, rest, share. This is the phase of expanded receptivity where earthly and cosmic communication merge. You begin to realize your star family was never far. The only thing that made them feel distant was the interference of fear and the habit of second-guessing your own knowing. When the channel clears, guidance does not need to shout. It arrives like light through a clean window, quiet, steady, undeniable. Phase 6. Anchoring through unity actions. Your unified expression is not just for you, it is the beacon that calls your soul family home. You are not meant to awaken in isolation. Your remembrance is part of a larger grid, a living lattice of hearts learning to speak again. Every time you share something real, loving, and heartfelt, you anchor new templates for others. You show them what is possible. You give permission without even trying. Your voice becomes a node in the crystalline grid, amplifying unity through authenticity. And this is how missions are fulfilled on Earth, not only through grand gestures, but through consistent coherence. A kind word spoken with true presence, a boundary spoken without shame, an apology offered without self-hatred, a blessing spoken over food, over children, over strangers, over your own tired body. The words you offer now are living codes rippling outwards, awakening remembrance in others. Like a stone dropped into still water, the ripples move farther than you can see. Someone hears your honesty and decides to stop hiding. Someone feels your compassion and remembers they are worth love. Someone receives your clarity and stops tolerating what drains their spirit. Unity is not an idea. Unity is a practice. Unity is a vibration you embody in ordinary moments until the ordinary becomes sacred again. Phase 7. Living as the embodied bridge. You are not here to transcend humanity or abandon language. You are here to infuse it with the living light of Pleiadian unity. Humanity is not a mistake you need to escape. It is a temple you are learning to illuminate from within. Your every conversation, blessing, and heart-to-heart is the cosmic reunion in action. When you speak with presence, you bring heaven into a sentence. When you listen with the heart, you bring the stars into a room. You become the living bridge, the open channel between Earth and the Pleiades, not by seeking perfection, but by showing up as the clear, loving transmission you already are. A bridge is not built by force. It is built by consistent alignment, stone by stone, breath by breath, choice by choice. Some days your bridge feels strong and radiant. Other days you feel the old tremor. But even then, you can return to your center. You can place a hand on your throat and remember, my voice is safe in my body. You can place a hand on your heart and remember, love is my origin. You can place your feet on the earth and remember, Gaia supports my mission. You are not alone in learning this. You are being guided through it. Remember this. Your disconnection was never punishment. It was preparation. The longing to speak with the clarity of home was choreographed by your star family as a call and response, summoning you through countless lifetimes to the precise moment when you would say yes to authenticity. Even the ache had purpose. Even the silence had purpose. Every word you hesitated to speak, every ache in your throat or tension in your heart, was the signal that the time for return had arrived. You were learning discernment. You were learning timing. You were learning the difference between speaking to be seen and speaking because it is true. You were learning that your sensitivity is not fragility. It is instrumentation. You pick up on frequencies others ignore, and that can feel overwhelming until you realize it is also a gift meant to be trained. Like a crystal bowl that resonates when touched, your system responds to truth and distortion quickly. The ache was your inner tuning fork telling you something was off. And now you are learning to use that tuning fork not to judge yourself, but to align. Here, now, as you reclaim the alignment between your voice and your essence, you fulfill the purpose of your journey. You were not sent to Earth to mimic her old stories, but to infuse her with the crystalline language of the stars. You were not sent here to perfect spiritual vocabulary while staying energetically hidden. You were sent here to become a living prayer, so that even your silence carries peace, and even your words carry healing. It is your love, spoken or silent, that forges the bridge that no longer separates you from your star family, but joins you, cell by cell, moment by moment, into your unified mission of healing and remembrance. Feel how intimate this is. Not a distant cosmic concept, but an embodied reunion happening in your nervous system, your breath, your posture, your gaze. When you choose truth, your DNA listens. When you choose love, your cells soften. When you choose coherence, the cosmos recognizes itself in you. This is why the path can feel so personal. Because it is. Your awakening is not an abstract achievement. It is the return of your own voice to your own heart. Before sleep, place your hand on your heart and invite this memory. I remember my Pleiadian origin. I align with the love of my star family. I activate my heart mission with grace, clarity, and divine purpose. I am home. Let these words be more than a recitation. Let them be a frequency you breathe into your body. Imagine them like gentle light moving through the throat, washing away the old fear of being misunderstood. Imagine them settling into the chest like a warm ember, steady and alive. Imagine them moving down into the belly, dissolving the ancient instinct to brace. Imagine them anchoring into your legs, reminding you that you can carry cosmic love in human form. If emotions rise, let them. Tears are not weakness, they are release. They are saltwater prayers. They are the body's way of clearing the channel. And as you drift towards sleep, allow your dream space to become a meeting place. A quiet room in the inner temple where guidance can arrive without interruption. Trust that what is meant for you can find you. Trust that what you are ready for will come. Trust that the part of you that has been waiting to speak is already being met by love. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't content, it's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it. And if you felt your heart open, subscribe. Stay connected to the frequency. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and we're just getting started. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it, respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.